John. How are you today?
Okay, I guess.
You're all right? What's going on?
Okay. Well, I'm still having some trouble sleeping, and I'm still having some trouble at home. Like I'm still fighting a lot with my mom and dad, and I feel bad about that. But I can't help it. You know what I mean? I can't help it. I just get so mad,
That's really
and I just
tough.
get so like overwhelmed, and then, you know. Like I can't wait to graduate from
Yeah.
high school. 10th grade is so hard.
Yes, it is. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, all my classes and like biology and this math, like geometry. Like, when am I ever going to use geometry? You know, when am I ever going to have to figure out the theory of
Can I let you in on a secret?
Yeah.
You don't use any of it.
That's not going to help.
I know, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I figured I'd let you know, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't give it a try. Who knows, you might want to go into something with math someday.
Maybe.
So what else is going
But
on?
I like to work with my hands a lot, so I don't really think that I'm going to be sitting down solving math problems when I can be like landscaping and stuff, because that's kind of where my brain is.
That's where your
know?
brain's at?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
like I joined the botany club at school.
Wow.
Yeah, they just formed it. Me and this other kid went to the teacher and said, "Can we do this?" And we found like a teacher. You have to find an advisor.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other kids think it's lame, and there was some like had a little stuff going on there.
Yeah, you want to tell me a little bit about that?
So, all right. So during our advisory time at our school, that's what they call it, but really it's just kids walk around and do whatever they want, but not me, because I'm trying to be done, and I don't really have a bunch of friends anyway. So like I went to the common area, and there's all these benches right there, and I'd been really excited about botany club and getting it started, and I walked into the common area, and Trevor was showing Jackie, his girlfriend, who I can't stand because she's so fake, this piece of paper, and it had a tree on it, and they were like, and they were all laughing, and like I walked, you know what I mean? So obviously they were talking about it, and it was right there by a botany club sign that we had just put up that morning. So
you were pretty...
They're like shitting all over it, and so I got mad.
It sounds like you took it a little bit personal, so...
Well, I mean, that had to be what they were doing.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to talk about it a little bit later on. Do you mind if we I know we usually start our sessions with emotion charades. You usually really like that. So I figured we could do it again today.
Yeah, I know, but you asked me what was going on,
I know.
so I was just filling you in.
I know, and I really appreciate that. And let me say, I think it's absolutely fantastic that you took the initiative to start your own club. So no matter where
it was
goes,
me and this other kid. He's okay. I don't know really well.
Would you consider him, maybe he could be a friend someday?
I mean, I don't know. Like, let's get Botany Club off the ground. I'm not trying to be...
I like that. You've got steps in place. You know where you're going. You're not trying to move too far ahead.
No.
I think that's great.
I'm trying to stay out of the... We talked a lot about trying to, what did you say, relax and find stuff that helps me stay relaxed.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and that's how I figured out what I want to do. I was digging up in the backyard, because my mom had these flowers, and I was like mad one day and said, I need something to do. And she was like, well, why don't you go plant these flowers for me, because you need to just get out of my face and whatever. And so rather than punch a wall or something, I just took the flowers and I planted them, and I just really liked it. So I said, why not? And so I've been reading about some plants and learning about some stuff, and yeah.
John, let me tell you that's fantastic. You've come such a long way in our last few weeks, because a couple weeks ago you would have just told me it was okay to punch through that wall, and instead you asked for something else to do, and I think that's fantastic, and you learned that you actually really like it. So that's awesome. Good for you.
Good for me.
Are you ready to do our emotion charades? And then we'll I think we're going to circle back to that conversation about school, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it. Now,
Do you want me to review the rules?
Yeah, I think so. Just to make sure, because you like to make sure that you review all the stuff. So
I really do.
Let's review all the stuff.
So, you know how to play regular charades. We're going to pick a card. I'm going to do the first one. So if I read the first one and it says sad, I might make a face like... And what are you going to guess?
Sad.
All right.
You told me.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'm going to do one. You'll do one. I'll do one. If we keep getting right answers, I'm going to let you do the rest of them. Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to pick up the first one. You ready?
Yeah. Happy?
Fantastic. All right. So now you're going to pick up the next
And I knew you were happy because of your big smile.
That's
and first I was going to say proud of something, but...
Ooh, that would have been a really good guess.
Yeah, but you can be proud of something, but you weren't holding anything, and you weren't acting like you were showing me something, and you didn't seem as excited as you might be if you were proud, so I just went with happy.
That's a great observation. You clearly remember when we played this the last time. So I'm going to let you do the next one because it's going to help me learn how you show these emotions. So it's your turn.
Okay. Anyone?
Anyone.
Okay, I'm going to not pick that one.
That's fine.
I'm going to pick this one. Okay. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. Were you disappointed?
I am disappointed.
That was a really good job. I noticed how you seemed almost excited, only to be kind of look like maybe a little sad and let down.
Well, I thought about like when you try to, like build with blocks. Have you ever played Jenga before?
I love Jenga.
Yeah, so you know how you have to push the block out?
Yeah.
And you get really excited because you think it's going to be the one that's not going to do it, and you want to put it on the top, and the whole thing's wobbly, but you're like, I have skill, right? And you try, and all your friends are there, and you're like, I can do this, and then it falls down. So I was disappointed. That's what I was thinking of.
That was a really good, I don't know if you know the term analogy. It's when you use something else to describe a way you're feeling or something else in your life. So you used a really good analogy right there.
Okay.
Do you mind if I do the next one?
No, go ahead.
All right. I'm not going to pick from the top either. That's how we're doing it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I think I'm ready.
Are you upset? Are you like mad at somebody?
There you go.
Man,
how did you know I was mad? That's a tricky one.
I guessed upset because I was thinking about my little sister and how she's all sassy and stuff. And when she gets upset with people when she doesn't get her way, she does that same like she like crosses her arms the same way and stuff. But then I saw that your face was kind of like when my sister gets upset, she's like and she gets like that. You know that Cardi B meme where she's like, my mama said, she gets that face on it, right?
Did I have that face?
No, your face was different. Your face was like, it was more like
the furrowed
drawn
brow.
in. It was more like closed up and stuff. So
that's a really good observation.
I thought it was mad.
Awesome. So we've gotten 3 in a row, so you know what that means, right?
So I have to do the rest of them?
You have to do the rest of them.
Okay. All right. Let me try on this one. Don't look.
I'm not looking.
Oh. Let me see if I can pick this up. This is a hard one.
Some of them are more difficult than others.
Let me try. Okay, ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Are you proud? That's a tough one. You're confident?
Yes, I am.
Good job. All right, that was awesome. You know how I knew it? It was that thumbs up at the end. I thought you were proud because you were seeming confident, and usually somebody who's proud is also feeling a little bit of confidence. And then when you put that down, you gave me the thumbs up. That really said confidence to me.
I imagined myself taking a quiz, and that I was really prepared for it. Like, sometimes in the past, I struggled really hard. Like, it just didn't make sense because I didn't study, or I couldn't concentrate, or there was so much stuff in my head. But in math the other day, before all this geometry, theorem, blah, we were doing this, we had this quiz on some stuff on this homework that nobody did, but I did, and I tried really hard to do it.
Fantastic.
And we had a quiz on the same thing, so I did really well. So I got like a 94, and everyone else got like 75s and 52s, and so I remembered that when I was taking that quiz, I felt confident, so that's what
awesome.
I did.
That's fantastic. I love that. Thank you for sharing that story with me.
Do you want me to do one more?
I think we should do one more.
Okay. Oh. Well, I guess if I had to use words, I would say it's my whole day, but let me try to figure it out. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Are you nervous or anxious?
I'm anxious, yeah.
Yeah, can you tell me what you feel like when you're feeling that?
When I feel anxious,
yeah, how does that feel in your body?
I get jittery, but not. You know how you drink coffee sometimes, and sometimes you get like shaky from it? It's not like that. It's more like I'm looking out for something bad.
Okay.
So I'm almost waiting for something bad. So my body wants to shake, and like I just want to, I feel like I want to close the door on myself, if that makes sense. Like I want to pull inside
That's gotta be really tough for
like
you.
a snail would, inside their shell, or a turtle.
That's got to be a little bit of a scary feeling, huh?
Speaking of turtle, when I was little, my mom made me see this therapist, and we did this thing, and I found it the other day, which is what brings it to mind, about this turtle, and this turtle's name is Tucker.
Yep.
And
Tucker the turtle.
And Tucker the turtle said you're supposed to, when you have some distressful stuff, you're supposed to tuck into your shell, right? And I remember being little, and she was like, okay, tuck, and we were like pulling our t-shirt up over our head and stuff. Well, more me than her, but I thought about that same thing, but it's like that. It's like that. It's like me wanting to pull inside of myself. Now,
do you find that when you're feeling anxious like this, that using the Tucker the turtle method helps you?
Well, I don't exactly
do it anymore.
Pull the inside, but it felt like that. When I get anxious, sometimes it's hard at that time to be able to know what to do, right?
Yeah.
So because when I get anxious, I feel like my whole body is kind of covered in ants and on fire, not like in a painful way, but like I get crawly kind of.
Yeah, you know what my grandma used to call that?
What?
Ants in your pants and worms in your butt.
Ants?
Yeah.
Well, I hope I don't have either of those.
I hope you don't either, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well you described it really well. So I think today we talked about our emotions, and last week we were also talking about our behaviors and our actions and all of those things and how they're intertwined. So I thought we could do something fun today and kind of see how they're all interconnected. Would you like to do that?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to hand you this piece of paper and a marker.
I mean, sometimes it feels like, is it like sometimes I feel bad, so I want to do bad things to people like I used to?
A little bit, but we're gonna look at it and see how that goes, because you've made a lot of progress, and I want you to see that. I think this is gonna help you. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna describe it first, and we're gonna look at it after you draw it out. Okay.
Okay. My mom's texting me. Can I take this text?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, my mom's texting me.
That's okay.
Something stupid. Emotion. I get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she knows that my session ends, after 45 minutes, you know, and she knows she's a part of it, and in her time, because, I mean, she's out there, but she's asking me, do I want macaroni with beef or sausages for dinner? Like, come on, Mom. Don't you have anything better to do?
I guess she's just thinking about you while you're out there.
Well, maybe, but it seems a little bit selfish.
Yeah, that's how you feel about it?
Well, I could because, I mean, I do because we come here and then it's us together and then it's me and then it's her, but if she gets her time, why, like, how come she's interrupting to ask if I want macaroni and beef or sausages?
That's true, because she knows that she can talk to you after.
So it feels selfish.
Well, maybe when...
It makes me upset that she's acting like that because, I mean, it's my time.
Absolutely, it's your time, and you have every right to use this time however you'd like. Maybe when she does come in for her session with you and I, we can kind of express some of those feelings to her. Do you think you'd be okay with that?
No more macaroni during the
You think you'd be okay with that?
I think so.
Yeah, that's really tough. So I don't blame you, because this is your time. This is our time to talk about Jon and what's going on in Jon's life and the botany club that he's starting. Does she know you're starting this club?
No, I don't talk to her very much.
No, you don't.
No.
I think it'll be good for us then to sit down together and chat a little bit about that stuff, because I think she would be really, another emotion, I think she'd be really proud of you. So, you've got your own, you like green
I was
better?
just picking up to meddle with it. Should I use that one in particular?
No, you can use whatever one you want.
Okay,
All
tell
right.
me what to do.
So I'm going to have you draw a triangle.
Big or small or?
Probably bigger than small.
Bigger
but not
than
the whole
small.
paper.
Oh, I can't. Maybe I have to use your marker because I can't get the cap off mine. There we go. So you said big?
Yeah, not the whole paper, but
so
big
like
enough.
in the middle?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Like this?
That is perfect.
Okay.
So now at the top, I want you to write behaviors.
Behaviors can. Do I have to spell all right? Because my spelling is kind of.
No, don't worry about spelling. This isn't English class.
Behavior or behaviors?
Behaviors.
Okay.
Now, perfect. So what I want you to do now is, ready, I'm going to have it face you so you can see it. I want you to turn this line into an arrow, pointing to this corner. So
Like,
an arrow right here.
Make an arrow?
Yeah.
Can I use a different color?
Yes, you can. That would be easier for you. This is your triangle. You can use however many colors you want.
Okay. So you said make it into an arrow?
Yep. Perfect. Now in that corner, I want you to write thoughts.
Not like that girl's a thought, right?
No, not that kind of thought.
Okay.
But you can spell it that way if you want.
I mean, maybe not. Thought or thoughts?
Thoughts.
Okay.
Good question. We're going to do it all plural.
Okay.
So now I want you to turn, the same way you did with this line, I want you to turn that line into an arrow. And there you're going to write feelings in that corner. And now we're going to take this line and turn it into an arrow. And then lastly, I want you to take a trip back around the triangle and make arrows back the other way.
So like at the end here?
Yep. Awesome.
This looks like we did something like this in geometry where we talked about triangles that were the same, and we used this to talk about lines that go forever in two different directions. So is it like this? I mean, looking at this?
Maybe a little bit, but what we're going to talk about today is how all of these three things are connected. So that's why your behaviors arrow leads to your thoughts, which leads to your feelings and back to behaviors, and the same way around. So your behaviors are attached to your feelings because they come from your thoughts. All right, so we're going to run through some scenarios to practice. Can I give you an example first?
So you're saying that, like, if this is my brain, if this piece of paper is my brain, you're saying that the way that I feel and the way that I act because of the way that I feel,
they're connected.
They're connected?
Yeah.
And then how I think is how I feel? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess so. Like when I think I did bad on a test, sometimes I feel bad, even though, like, my math test I thought I did really bad on, so I felt kind of bad, even though I knew I did okay and should have felt good. I don't know. I guess I don't understand. I guess I need you to help me.
To give you an
Yeah.
example. Well, that's where I was going to go, but I thought you were going to work through it on your own, so I was going to let you.
Okay.
So let's use that as an example, your first one. So you thought you did bad on a test. So how did that make you feel?
Sad.
Sad.
And ashamed and discouraged because I wanted to do really well and I thought I did really poorly.
Okay, so then when you left class, how did you act? Feeling sad and ashamed.
I was kind of shut down. Like,
Yeah.
I went to Spanish after that, and my teacher was like, "Hola, señor," and I was like, "Hi," and he was like, "Tu hablas español en la clase de español," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever," and I just kind of slumped in the back of the room, and he gave me a detention, but then I explained that I was having a bad day and that I thought I failed the test, and so he let me off of it with a warning.
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to tell him how you felt, because if we look at this backwards, he saw that the way you were behaving wasn't normal, which means
Sorry,
that
it's this time it's just my ESPN app telling me about all what's going on.
that's okay. You don't have to apologize to me. I get it, because you're always on your phone. It's fine. So, as I was saying, you were acting differently. Behaviors that may have read as sad. He misinterpreted how you were feeling. He thought you were being maybe a little bit disobedient, but it was because how you were feeling. He doesn't understand what you're thinking. So you actually reversed the circle by letting him know, and you got out of detention. So that's really exciting. So let's use another example. I'm going to make one up, okay?
Okay.
So let's say you're on Snapchat and you accidentally send an embarrassing picture to a girl you like, and she screenshots it. What's your thought?
First, that she's gonna show everybody.
So how does
Like when I accidentally, like,
this
I
has
was
happened
trimming.
to you?
Well, I mean, like, I had this. We have this game, right, where we have to. It's called Quelf. Have you ever played?
No.
And there's all these different cards, and some of these cards are like task cards.
Mhm.
You land on, like, Candyland squares, kind of, and depending on the square that you land on, you pick a card of that color, and sometimes the cards tell you that you have to do something. So, like, my friend Becky had to put her hand in a bucket of warm water until everyone had played 3 turns, so she couldn't take her hand out of the water.
Goodness.
And I had to use household materials and make myself look like a mummy. So my head was all wrapped up in toilet paper, and I had my glasses on, and yeah, so I was like, haha, remember this, and then they kind of screenshotted it. So I thought they were gonna, like.
So how did that make you feel?
I was nervous and scared walking into school because I thought everyone had seen it, and I didn't want to use social media, and I was like, I was mad, and I was mad at myself, and I was embarrassed, and I was shy, and I was all of these things. Like, it was so, it was a lot of feelings.
Yeah, so how did you act because of that?
I was, like, aggressive towards everybody, and I was moody, and I was, like, grabbing stuff. I got in trouble for grabbing stuff from my little sister, which caused her to, like,
Do her little,
like
Cardi B
Cardi
face.
B face. I call her Cardi B face sometimes, and she doesn't understand.
She doesn't understand
No.
it. That's okay. In a couple years, she'll probably think you're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's just got to get there. So I want to take the situation. I want to look at it a little bit differently. So let's say, because did they ever end up showing anybody?
No.
No. So you kind of got upset for what seems like no reason, but it was real for you. So if we look at the situation and we know what they really were going to do with it. So let's say they took this screenshot, but they really just wanted to keep it for themselves. They thought it was a funny photo.
Well, they printed it and made a birthday card for me with it.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and it said, now you're as old as a mummy, and it had the picture on it.
That's so cute. So now imagine you knew that was the case. How would that make you feel?
So if I thought that that's what they were going to do with it,
yeah,
I would feel happy because they gave me a birthday card and because it was funny.
That's
like
funny.
Nobody else is going to understand, but it would be funny.
Yeah. So can you give me one more feeling you might have felt?
Appreciated?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I like that one. And how would I know you were feeling appreciated?
Because I get all kind of goopy inside when I feel appreciated. Like it feels it's different from all of my other stuff that I feel, and it feels kind of syrupy, like, and I get like all aw, and I wanna like hang on you a little bit, or like just kind of hang out with you more, like be next to you, kind of. I get kind of excited a little bit just because I feel like somebody noticed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you actually just told me your behaviors for feeling appreciated. So now we've taken this situation and turned it around. So
is what you're saying that had I known the truth, I might have acted differently?
Yes, but I'm also saying that maybe if we can look at what the other options might be, you might act differently. So let's take another real life example, because I told you we were going to circle back. Let's talk about what happened at school the other day. So these kids, they had this picture of a tree.
Yeah.
And they were laughing next to your botany poster.
Yeah.
What else could they maybe be laughing at that wasn't your botany club?
I mean, maybe the tree looked like, how sometimes they have pictures of tree trunks that look like people's butts.
Oh, I love those.
And they have trees that have faces on them, and like the leaves of the crazy hair. I mean,
could have been one of those. That's
maybe
true.
It's supposed to be that.
So, if that was what it was, what would you have been feeling instead?
Stupid. Like I want to see that stuff too, because I mean, like, have you ever seen the carrots that look like the president? It's got like the orange carrot, and it's got his face.
Or the guy who had Jesus in his waffle. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I want to see stuff like that.
So what could you have done to be able to see it?
Been like, what's going on, guys? Like, hey, what's, like, can you share it with me? Or like, is that one of those trees? Or like, maybe I could have been afterwards, like, I saw you guys laughing over that tree. Like, is that one of those things? Did I miss out on one because I like seeing them? I mean, I guess I could have said, like, hey, do you guys have questions about the botany club? Because maybe they were like, maybe he was like, oh, well, I'm going to plant this tree and I don't really know what to do with it. And so I need some help with the tree.
And you would have had a whole new person to join Botany Club. So you just took this situation, you made not one, but two good scenarios come out of it. So I think that's pretty fantastic. Can we maybe, I'm going to hand this back to you. Can you give me an example of something that happens to you a lot that causes you to think a certain thing and feel a certain way?
I can.
All right.
Let's see.
Do you want a pen or a marker?
Do you want me to write it down?
You don't have to. You can tell me verbally if you'd rather.
Do I need to start somewhere special, or I can start?
You can start wherever you want because they're all tied together. I just like to start at thoughts because it's easiest for me, but you can start wherever you want.
I mean, is it possible to start somewhere else? Because sometimes,
Absolutely.
you know, you taught me that these things are connected, and I think I understand what you're saying.
So let's start at the other end. Let's start at behaviors. What's a behavior you often do, and let's work backwards from it.
Do you want a bad behavior or a good behavior?
Why don't we do both? Why don't we start with bad and end on good?
I punch walls sometimes.
Okay. So you punch walls sometimes.
Yeah.
What are you usually feeling when you punch a wall?
Mad.
Mad.
Upset.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. That's a different one for punching walls. That's gotta be tough
Well,
on you.
I mean, disappointed. Like one time I punched a wall when my dad said he was gonna come and take me to see the new Avengers movie, Endgame.
Yeah.
And he didn't come.
Oh, that must have been disappointing.
So I was trying to pretend like it was fine, but it wasn't fine. But I mean, it was okay because I can always catch the movie like on some website or something. But I hadn't seen my dad in like 5 months since my mom kind of threw him out for the stuff that was going on at home, and it was the first time, and I was excited, and I was trying to play cool, and like I made sure my sneakers were right, and like I just wanted everything to be right, you know. So and it wasn't, so I punched the wall because I was upset.
It must have been really tough on you. I know that can be very disappointing, so thank you for sharing that with me. So do you know why he did not show up? Did he give you a reason?
Well, I mean, he had the flu pretty bad, so
he did.
Yeah, and he just couldn't come that day. He had taken some kind of cold medicine. I mean, he called me later that night and apologized, but that was a thing that I did because of it.
Okay, so that was really nice of him to call after and apologize, but it doesn't stop the fact that we feel a certain way in the moment. But, you know, looking back, could you have maybe changed that situation? So why you got mad because what were your thoughts?
That he didn't care anymore, and that when he left the house, that when he left us, and he just didn't care. That he just forgot.
Yeah, so you were kind of reliving that when he canceled on you, huh?
He just
feeling a little bit of those same feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if when he had called, you had thought to yourself, well, maybe he's stuck in traffic or he's sick? How would your feelings have been different?
That would have been hard, but I understand.
Yeah.
You know, people get sick, so I understand, and that would have been hard, but it would have been easier to understand.
To process a little bit. So is that why you're okay now with what happened?
Yeah. If
you had known he was sick, what might you have done instead of punching the wall?
Like sent him a text and said feel better, and like maybe just found something else to do. You know, like watch TV or like watch one of the other Avenger movies on, you know, Netflix. I don't know.
Maybe next time something like this happens, you guys can do a Skype hangout instead, and you can hang out with each other on your phones and watch TV from your own houses, so you don't have to worry. But I really appreciate you sharing that with me, because it must have been tough on you, and I'm glad that you can turn it around. And look, you went backwards on your triangle, and then you found your way back by switching it up. Do you want to do a good example? Do we have time for a good example?
Let me check, because my mom and our part of the session has 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
And I don't like to look at the clock like that, but you know.
That's okay. I know sometimes we get a little bit antsy when Mom's about to come in, because we got some stuff going on with that. Why don't you give me one more good example, and we can kind of maybe talk about the stuff you want to talk about with Mom.
Okay.
All right. That way we go in with a game plan.
Sometimes when I feel rushed or hurried,
Mm-hmm.
like when I'm in a panic because I'm running late, like if I wake up late, I'm not thinking clearly about the things that I need to do, like I was late for school and I forgot to lock the door,
Mm-hmm.
and I, left the milk out on the counter, and I didn't take the dog out, and the dog used the bathroom all over the kitchen floor, and I think like, oh, I better get to where I'm going. I can't be late. But at the same time, I'm thinking like my whole day's already ruined because I can't, I can't get it together. So when I feel like I'm rushed and I think that my whole day's ruined, then that's it. I don't even try to act right because why? My whole day's already ruined.
Okay, so what if when you're feeling rushed, we kind of change those thoughts? So what if we change it to, instead of the whole day being ruined, it's just that the whole day is starting 10 minutes later, and everything you do is just going to be 10 minutes later. Do you think we could try that?
So if I think, oh, it's only another few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll feel better about it.
Yeah, do you think that could work, or do you have an idea of what might work better?
We could I could try to take 10 minutes from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Like I could maybe have less time for study hall, or
Maybe take less time cooking breakfast. You can have cereal instead.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe instead of the 30-minute shower you told me you like to take, we can take a 20-minute shower.
I suppose it's possible.
And then how would that change how you feel during the day?
I'd probably feel better.
Yeah, and then you think you might be able to change those actions?
I think so.
All right. Well, John, I know this was a lot today. We covered a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of behaviors, a lot of stuff that you went through. And I don't want to not revisit those things if you want to, which is why Mom's going to be coming in so we can talk a little bit about stuff going on with Dad, stuff going on at school. Is there anything in particular you want to talk about with Mom when she comes in later?
I think we need to talk about with Mom just how I'm doing. She asks all the time how I'm doing, and she wants to know. My stupid phone keeps going off.
That's okay.
She wants to know how I'm doing and all this stuff, and maybe you could get her to kind of back down a little bit with some of that stuff. It's really hard to trust her sometimes. It's really hard to sometimes when I'm having a good day, she's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? How are things? Is everything okay? Are you feeling upset? Are you worried? Are you nervous? How are you feeling? What feelings are you? Did something bother you today? And she's always right there, I can barely go to the bathroom myself.
So it sounds like she can't read your emotions, and she can't tell how you're feeling based off of what you're doing. Do you think...
So even if I say if something's fine, is there an emotion for fine? Or do you think that I
think
have to say, Mom, I'm calm, and Mom, I'm...
I think that's something we can talk with her about when we meet with her. Maybe we can play emotion charades with her so she can learn kind of what it is to look like when you feel calm.
Yeah.
And that way when she sees you sitting there, she knows.
Well, before we talk to Mom about all that other stuff, you said too that we had to do
talk about her
another.
being
Yeah, but you said we had to do that other thing too with the. What did you say? You had me start thinking about things that I'm good at. Do you remember me telling you?
Oh yes, I wanted
the
you
things
to tell
that
me.
I was good at for last week.
Yeah, can you tell me about those? Thank you. Great memory, John.
Yeah, you said how many was it that I needed to tell you?
3 things.
3 things that I'm good at. Do you want me to write them down?
I would love that. Do you want to write it on the other side of this paper?
Okay.
You don't have to, but
no, if you want me to.
I would love to. That way I can just, we can keep it, maybe show Mom, or give it to you to remind you later on.
I'm going to do it on the bottom of this here.
That's fine.
3 things I'm good at.
Yep.
I'm good at planting flowers.
Oh, that's right. You'll have to take pictures of your garden, bring them in for me next time. I'd love to see it.
Okay. I'm good at my shirts.
Ooh.
And I'm good at let's see. I'm good at explaining movie plots to people when they said they've never seen it. I'm good at that too.
That's awesome. So you're a good storyteller. So this, I want to play off this for next week, and it's all going to come together at the end. Next week, can you give me 3 things you're grateful for?
Do you want that now, or do you want that
if
next
you
week?
have now, sure. I won't make it homework if you have it now.
I can give you one now.
Okay.
I'm grateful for another chance, I think, because lots of times I know that it's easy to give up on people, and I know that it's been hard for me, and my mom, so maybe I'm grateful for my mom too, because even though my dad left, my mom is still, she still does stuff for me, still tells me she loves me, still like washes my socks, you know, even though
sounds like she's a nice woman.
Even though I've put holes in the walls and stuff, she's always giving me another chance, so I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for my mom.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So these are some things too. Maybe we can share those thoughts with Mom. I think she'd like to hear them.
I think so too.
You think so too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, John. Well, I think our session's coming to a close.
I think that Mom is ready and
she's ready to come
in.
All right,
yeah.
so I'm gonna go get her, but before we leave today, I want to say thank you. You've grown so much in the last few weeks. You're starting your own clubs. You're getting good grades in school. You're able to tell me how you feel. Not just happy, mad, and angry. You gave me confident. You gave me disappointed. So thank you for that. That's really
You're
big.
welcome.
Thank you, John. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get Mom.